Happy Friday night to you. Hope you're doing well. As you can see, the sun is setting here, which is it's weird getting used to the sun setting at the same time pretty much every day year round. You know, I'm used to being in Canada where the sun sets at different times. You know, sometimes it sets in the winter, you know, really early, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then in the summer it's up till like 11 o'clock at night. And then, you know, even in Kentucky and Florida, even in Florida, there's a variation in the time the sun comes up and the sun goes down. So it's pretty much the same, 5:30 in the morning, around 5 o'clock at night, year round here. Little variation, but not much. So I wanted to jump on here real quick and talk a little bit about Nicaragua. This will be, next week will be 2 years, 2 años here in Nicaragua. Ramo, my dog, and I, it'll be 2 years for us here. And when I originally decided to move to Nicaragua, I told Ramo, I said, hey, buddy, like, I drove down just for him essentially because it wouldn't allow him on the plane. And I would never recommend anyone drive down here. I'm glad I did it. It was a once in a lifetime experience, an opportunity, but I'll never do it again. I was supposed to go to Guatemala with the baseball team. I ended up not going because they put me on the roster too late. I was hired as a late hire. So they had already submitted the coaching roster a few months before and you couldn't change it. So I didn't go to Guatemala. They went by bus to Honduras, through Honduras. And I was like, I never, ever want to go through a border again, the Honduran border particularly, because I had such a horrible time coming down through the Honduran border. But I didn't get to go on that, which is fine. It was like a 30 or 26-hour bus ride or something like that. Had a great day today, by the way. Got to coach a bunch of people, had a lot of fun. It was a really good day, and got to run some errands this afternoon. So I told Ramo when I moved down here, I was like, man, you gotta live at least 1 year for this to be worth it, you know, to buy a vehicle and all that stuff to come on down here. So he's almost 2 years, so he's definitely fulfilled his part of the bargain. And so it'll be 2 years next week that I moved here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that are some of the strong cultural things here that are very interesting. One, the gym culture here is insane. The women love to lift the weights. They love to train legs. They train legs every single day, as heavy as they can go. It's crazy. So the gyms are booming here. When I was in Diriomo, I was shocked at how nice the gyms are. They're nice, just as nice or better than some of the gyms in the US that I've trained at. Lots and lots and lots of ladies training, lots of them. Looking for that curvy look. They love the curves here, so they go after they train legs like crazy. A lot of them just don't even train their upper body at all. It's kind of the opposite of dudes. Here in Managua, where I train at, there's a lot of really there's some jack dudes, some ripped dudes, bodybuilders. It's the rest of the country not so much, but here in Managua there's pretty good physical culture. There's a lot of figure competitors, a lot of bodybuilders. Powerlifters. There's a lot of MMA here, but the gym culture here is very strong and getting stronger. A lot of these small towns are getting gyms now, and they work on the volume principle. It's like just about $1 a day, pretty much anywhere in the country, except the exception. A few gyms here in Managua are a lot more expensive because they're exclusive, very nice. Where I train some of my baseball players at Evolve, they're a little more expensive, as they should be, because they're by far the best gym for athletes in Nicaragua. They have great equipment. Sleds, they've got sleds, they've got racks, they've got med balls, they've got everything you could possibly want. So there are some exceptions to that. Barbershops. I've never, when I was in the States, I would just shave my own head, trim my own beard, because you're looking at least 30, 40, like some places $40 to get your beard trimmed and your head shaved, and you got to do that more than when you have, when you got a bald head, you got to constantly be trimming it. So I go at least once a week. And the price ranges between 200 Cordoba and the highest was 500 Cordoba, which was like going to a spa. It was pretty good. 200 Cordoba, what is that, time divided by 36? Your range is like $2 or $3 all the way up to like probably top end $8. And I've probably used 20 to 30 different barbers while I've been here, and I've had my hair cut in every location, from the jungle in the middle of nowhere with iguanas running up and down the trees outside, and like literally just like in the middle of nowhere, like have to cross a stream to get to it, to, you know, big city experience. And I've never had a bad experience. Every barber here has been exceptional. I don't know if they go to school, I don't know what their deal is, but the barbershops here are incredible. Now, I will say this, the first time I got my head shaved and my beard trimmed, and they just spray you with rubbing alcohol. Like you got to close your eyes a lot because they use this brush on you to brush you all the hair off you. And then, you know, so I keep my eyes closed most of the time. They spray, the first time I got my hair cut here, my beard trimmed, they sprayed me down with rubbing alcohol. They use that kind of like an aftershave, and it's like getting like a triple cafe espresso with like an ephedra tablet and aspirin. For those of you from the old school bodybuilding meathead kind of community will understand the caffeine, ephedra, aspirin, Dan Duchaine stack. That's like getting punched in the face. It's unbelievable, and I didn't expect it. Now I know it's coming, and so it's a little easier to handle. But it definitely is like a sniff an ammonia cap at a powerlifting meet. But the barber experience here has been great. I mean, I can actually afford to go to the barber here. I actually enjoy it. I get my beard trimmed, my head shaved with a straight razor. Everything's with a straight razor. They do some clipper stuff here. A lot of barbers don't have clippers, so it's all scissors and straight razors. Unbelievably talented. Only one guy that kind of hacked me up a little bit, but I don't know what was going on that day. I think he might have stayed out a little too late the night before, but I'd been to him 5 or 6 times. He was excellent. Had a one bad day, but exceptional. You might hear some, like, it sounds like gunshots going off in the background. Those are fireworks. This weekend is a celebration of the Virgin Mary. So the one thing about here in Nicaragua is they look for an excuse to have a good time anytime. And so this celebration of the Virgin Mary is an excuse to go out and party and blow things up like fireworks. So, hey, you know, I'm all about setting off fireworks and having a few cocktails. So that's this weekend. Monday is, most of the businesses are closed on Monday. So this is a big party weekend. Actually, the whole month of December is fireworks and partying. So they take their Christmas very seriously here. They have Christmas trees everywhere. I'll probably go out and at night. Some of the light displays here are pretty impressive. Like they light up the traffic circles. They got these massive Christmas trees. It's really fun. Like I was in the mall just a second ago, and I was at the grocery store getting some sardines for Rommel, and there was somebody that had never been on an escalator before, and he was so scared. It was really funny. He got on the escalator, and you'll have a lot of that here. You'll see people coming to Managua, they've never been on an escalator, they've never, you know, stuff like that. It's just really, it's kind of neat. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the motorcycle culture here. Absolutely insane. So, you know, I grew up in Canada. Motorcycles are kind of like a fun thing, a hobby, something you do for fun. It's not like a daily staple. Like when I lived in California and Arizona, yeah, like my motorcycle was my only means of transportation. But even there, it was brutal because in the wintertime, there were times when the temperature got down to like, 30 degrees. Arizona a couple times. In Tucson, I dealt with freezing rain. Fun. Nothing like that here. So it's like, 80 plus degrees every day, year round. So it's perfect motorcycle weather. People in the United States, Canada, don't understand. In a developing country, the motorcycle is like, the majority of people here that drive have a motorcycle. They can't afford. Gasoline is about the same prices as is in Canada, maybe a little bit cheaper, but not much. It's about, between the U.S. and Canada, somewhere in between those two, it's 49 Cordoba per liter. So it's over $1 a liter. There's 4 liters in a gallon. So it's a little expensive, and diesel's a little cheaper. That's why most people drive Hiluxes here, which I'm really jealous of. There's some unbelievable Land Cruisers and Land Cruisers and 4Runners and Hiluxes here, like basically a Tacoma with a 4-cylinder turbo diesel with a 5 or 6 speed manual transmission. That's like one of those Land Cruisers, or they have a flatbed Land Cruiser. Man, that would be the ultimate for me. That's something I would love to have, is one of those to drive around. But motorcycle's fine because it's just so much easier to get around. I can leave my house and be everywhere I need to be in 10 minutes. If I had a car, I'd have to leave an hour before because the traffic is insane. But the motorcycle culture here, so they have Uber here, which is called InDriver. And InDriver is, like Uber. And you can actually get a motorcycle ride to like anywhere you want to go. And that's the true Nicaraguan experience, is getting on the back of one of those things. There's some unbelievably skilled. I've never seen people ride small motorcycles as fast or go around corners or cut through traffic with the kind of skill. They put everything. I've seen refrigerators on motorcycles. I've seen whole families. I've seen goats. I've seen women breastfeeding on motorcycles. It is absolutely ludicrous, the things they can do on a motorcycle here. Literally, Nicaragua would grind to a halt if they didn't have motorcycles. Managua would, for sure. Most people here get around on a motorcycle. They get their groceries delivered on a motorcycle. Their food is delivered on a motorcycle. A lot of people here make their living off their motorcycle, and I've never seen anything like it. What they can get out of these little 120cc bikes, single cylinder, air-cooled bikes, they tune the heck out of them. You got these skinny little tires. I've never seen anything like it. And what they can do on these motorcycles is insane. Cutting between buses, cutting between trucks. And I'm not a super, I'm fairly aggressive when I ride, but nothing like this. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And it's not necessarily safe. It's very dangerous. And I've said many times that I'll probably end my life will probably be ended on a motorcycle, which is fine by me. Better than rotting in a bed. But it's insane. I love riding motorcycles. It's something I've done my whole life. And here it's how I get around, because it's cheap and it's, what's up, Dan? How you doing? It's cheap and it's economical, and then I can get anywhere in the city quickly, because the traffic just gets absolutely ludicrous. Like, it'd take me 5 minutes to go to a store near here. It might take an hour in a car because of the traffic, and especially this time of night, the police are running the intersections. So depending on which part of the, which traffic flow they want to kind of do, it makes a big difference. But 2 years here, and then I'm coaching baseball. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, man. Glad your girls are doing well. They look great. It's crazy how fast time flies. But, I never thought I'd be coaching. I got my national team shirt on. I never thought I'd be coaching baseball in Nicaragua. It's just something that kind of happened by accident. So working with the national team in Los Dentos, which is the Army team. They have a Palomares, which is a semi-pro league, and then they're going to add a professional team next year. And of course, they've got a academy that I'm working with, and they've got several different levels that they have. So I've been helping them out, and that's been a lot of fun. The Palomares, the Primaries, I can't pronounce it right. It starts up probably around January. National team practice for the World Baseball Classic will start in January as well. So I'm going to be very busy this spring. My life is going to be loopy, nuts, and I'm looking forward to that, though. It's going to be a great experience. But that's just some thoughts about living here in Nicaragua for almost 2 years now. I never thought in my life that I'd be working here in person. Actually, I did. I was going to open a gym on the beach here, but that didn't work out. And then I ended up running into a couple baseball players, and that's kind of how I got into doing what I'm doing now. There goes the firework. But I love it here. It's fun. People are great. Now that I'm living in Managua, it's much easier to have a social life. Got a pretty good circle of friends, especially the baseball guys are really good to me. Got a couple really close friends that I'll go out and do stuff with. I've been doing a better job of staying in contact with some of my friends from Lexington, and so that's been really helpful. But being here in Managua has been wonderful because, I was commuting like an hour and 20 minutes every day on the motorcycle, and that was just wearing me out. My Spanish is getting better. I can understand more than I can speak, but every day I pick up a word or two. I can say most of the stuff that we're doing in the workouts, like turtle, turtle where you rock on your back, Dan, is tortuga. So, I'm slowly getting to know different words. I demonstrated for them. They're pretty good. A lot of them understand English. A lot of them don't speak English. The translator actually really helps. We're getting there. And I'm sure national team will really help because most of the guys there understand English. Most of them have played in the minor leagues. All the coaching staff is bilingual pretty much. So that will help me. I try to, every time that I'm around people that are bilingual, I try to get them to teach me some different words. I've also dated a couple lady friends that could also speak both, which has really helped. That really helped me out a lot. So we're getting there, but I understand more than I can speak, which I actually use to my advantage because I can actually, they don't expect me to speak or understand, so I can listen to what they're saying. I'm like, But that being said, I've been, there's only a few times I can remember. I've never really been truly ripped off by somebody who speaks Spanish here anyways. So I've been shystered by a couple. Well, why wouldn't I be dating? You know, I'm here in Nicaragua. I'm single, so I date, so it's fun. The only times I've ever gotten ripped off here is by like gringos. It's really interesting. Most of the Nicaraguans here are pretty, if they do shyst you, it's usually for, you know, less than $1 or something, or like the kids have gotten to know me at the mall. These kids go around selling these candies and stuff, and I don't know who they're selling them for, but they're hustling, man. They go up to everybody. Hey, you buy my candy, whatever. They get to know me, and they know that if they come up to me, I'll give them like 30, I'll give them $1, just for their hustle. Like, these guys are hustling. I don't even get the candy. I just give them $1. And so they come up to me, but they get to know me. They talk to me. They thank me. So I don't consider that like ripping people off. A couple of the tourist areas, there's a couple of guys that are a little aggressive, and they'll come up to you and they'll start talking to you, and then they'll start, you know, laying guilt trips on you, like my mom is sick or somebody's sick. But that happens in any tourist area like Mexico or anywhere else. So you get to know which ones are sincere and which ones are not. But I usually carry, you know, tens, like 10 Cordoba, which is less than $1. It's like 30 cents. I carry a bunch of those in my pocket when I go to tourist areas, and people come up and they start talking, and I just hand them a 10 and they leave me alone. So that's kind of how I handle that. But I love being here. It's been a lot of fun. This got some really exciting stuff in the next couple months. And so balancing that with my online work, it's a constant challenge. But I love coaching in person. Thank God. It saved me. Coaching baseball here has really helped me. I was really struggling with just working virtually. I like working virtually, but it's just not the same as coaching in person. So there's a little rant for you. Hope you have yourself a great day, and I hope you take the time to get outside this weekend. Even if it's cold, you definitely need to get outside. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll be on here again soon. Take care.